Which plan is better, Star Health Superstar or Care Supreme by Care Health Insurance? One is the biggest standalone health insurance company in India, and the other claims to have the largest hospital network spread across India. But we believe you and I as customers do not only want promises. What we want to know is whether the insurer will actually pay claims when the time comes. So in this video, we won't just talk about the shiny product features that someone on the other will sell you anyways. We'll go several layers deeper. I'll use my 20 years of experience and deep data-backed research from Beshak to break down both these plans clearly.
Mahavir Chopra, the founder and chief executive officer of Beshak.org.
India's only insurance platform that is 100% neutral, 100% not influenced by insurer commissions. So here's what we will be covering in this video. 1. A comparison of the unique features of both the plans. 2. A side-by-side comparison of the core benefits that matter in real life. 3. A detailed look at the claims experience and the customer service experience. 4. A clear comparison of the pricing of these plans. And finally, we will share with you how these plans are rated by Beshak Ratings, India's only independent insurance ratings, where we convert all this research into one single data-backed score, which makes it easier for you to compare both the plans on an overall basis. Now, before we move ahead, there's one important thing to understand. Now, these are contracts filled with insane amount of legal words, medical words, and jargon. Of course, while you try to keep things simple for you, at any point in time, if you feel overwhelmed, confused, you can get a free consultation with India's top 5% experts on Beshak.org. Okay, so starting with the USPs, in case of Star Health Superstar plan, Star offers an unlimited sum insured as an option. So for example, there is a sum insured of 7.5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 50 lakhs, 1 crore, and also unlimited sum insured, which in the case of Care Supreme aims at 1 crore. The highest sum insured available in Care Supreme is 1 crore. Now, the second USP in this plan is called the freeze your age feature. By this feature, your age basically gets frozen in the plan when you enter the plan. Now, what does this do? This basically allows you to pay the same premium for the age when you enter the plan while you are in the plan. The only difference happens when the premium changes would be when either you make a claim or you have turned 56 or hours. Now, the third feature or USP is called Future Shield. This is relevant for people who are young adults who are planning to get married. What this feature offers is basically that, let's say you buy this plan at an age where you're not married. Let's say you are at age 25 and you are keep paying premiums for, let's say, 26, 27, 28, 29 years of age. Now, let's say you get married at 29. At this age, you actually completed all your waiting periods. You actually earn credits to basically not have any waiting period in your policy. Now, in an ideal situation, in a regular situation, what will happen is that, let's say you add your wife in this policy, your spouse in this policy, she will have to actually undergo all the waiting periods again. But if you buy this add-on, then all the waiting periods that you have basically got credit for can also be transferred to her or a him. For example, the initial waiting period of 30 days, let's say the 2-year waiting period for specified diseases or the 3-year waiting period for pre-existing diseases, all these waiting periods will not have to be served by your spouse. Okay, now we will be taking the 3 important USPs which are comparable in both these plans. The first USP is called limitless care or unlimited care in case of Care Supreme. What this feature offers is one claim in your lifetime you can make without any sum insured limit. Basically, it means that you can make a claim for unlimited sum insured once in your lifetime. In this unlimited sum insured, there is one specific condition in case of Care Supreme that you need to understand. I'm just going to quickly read it out because it's slightly complex. It basically says that you have to renew your policy continuously for 5 years. Meaning if you opt for unlimited care add-on, you're locked into paying for at least 5 years consecutively in the policy. So basically what this insurance company is trying to do is wanting you to stay invested in this plan for at least 5 years to get this benefit, which is a fair ask because the kind of benefit you're getting with the unlimited feature is quite big. But Star Health is offering you this same feature without any limitations, without any conditions. So there basically Star Health has an upper hand. The next USP we will be comparing is called the loyalty bonus. Now, in case of Star Superstar, sum insured increases by 100% every year, irrespective of whether you claim or not. It is pure loyalty bonus that you get for every year of renewal that you do. Now, it also comes with a no maximum accumulation limit, which basically means every year your sum insured increases by the same sum insured that you have in the plan for years to go as much as you keep renewing your plan. Now, this is, like I said, a guaranteed bonus. You just have to keep renewing your policy. In case of Care Supreme, also the sum insured increases by 100% every year. It is also a guaranteed bonus, not linked with the claims that you make in the year, but it accumulates maximum up to 500%. So your sum insured will basically increase by, let's say, 1x, 2x, 3x to 5x. And there is a basic sum insured that you get in Care Supreme, which is 1x. So the total sum insured that will increase over a 5-year period of time is 6x. Now, quickly comparing the core benefits in both these plans, Care Supreme and Superstar. Now, let's start with room charges or room category limit. Both the plans, Care Supreme and Superstar, do not have any category or financial limits, The next is pre and post hospitalization expenses. In case of Care Supreme, the limitation is 60 days prior and 180 days after hospitalization. In case of Superstar, it's slightly better. It's 90 days prior and 180 days after hospitalization. There is no limit on the sum insured in this plan. Daycare treatments, both the plans offer all daycare treatments up to sum insured. Next is domiciliary treatment. Both the plans offer domiciliary treatment coverage but have an exclusion for 15 illnesses. The next is modern treatment. Modern treatment is also covered by both these health insurance plans with no limitation. Next is basically organ donor cover. Again, in case of organ donor, there is no limitation in case of Care Supreme as well as Superstar. So largely, both these plans offer comprehensive coverage for all the core benefits. There are only a couple of things that you need to be careful about. In case of domiciliary hospitalization, there is a limitation of 15 illnesses. And in case of pre and post hospitalization, there is a slight difference between both the plans, but nothing to write home about. Quickly, let's compare the good to have benefits. Now, the first one is the maternity benefit. This is offered only by Superstar. The options available in this plan, if you take this add-on, are 50,000 and 1 lakh. There's a waiting period of 24 months, no waiting period for any subsequent deliveries. This feature is not available Care Supreme. The next important good to have feature to compare is the consumables cover. What is consumables cover? Basically, all the non-medical expenses that an insurance company typically does not pay for is covered by this add-on. Now, in case of Care Supreme, with this add-on, you can waive off around 146 listed non-medical expenses in this plan. You pay the premium, and all these 146 listed non-medical expenses, you will basically get paid for instead of it getting excluded. In case of Superstar, it is around 68 listed non-medical expenses. The premium is not very different. When we compare the premium for Care Supreme, the premium for this add-on is around 1,500 rupees. In case of Superstar, it is 1,200 rupees. This is for the standard customer that we typically look for, Mr. Kumar, 30-year-old, 2 adults and 1 kid. Okay, let's compare the restoration benefit that both these plans offer. Both these plans offer restoration benefit inbuilt in the plan. Both these plans offer restoration benefit unlimited times in the plan. But there is an important feature, an important condition that you need to understand in case of Care Health Insurance, Care Supreme Health Insurance. The difference is that in case of Care Supreme, the trigger of restoration will happen only in case of complete exhaustion of the sum insured and the bonus. But in case of Superstar, the benefit is much better, much more superior. It offers the restoration trigger even in case there's a partial exhaustion of the sum insured or the bonus. So basically, Superstar leads in case of restoration in comparison to Care Supreme. Now, moving on to the key exclusions in this plan, there are typically 3 important exclusions that we will compare. In case of initial waiting period, it is standard in both the plans. 30 days in case of Care Supreme, 30 days in case of Superstar. Moving on to comparing the specified treatment waiting periods. Both the plans offer the standard waiting period of 24 months. So if you buy plan A, which is basically Care Supreme, or you buy Superstar, the waiting periods are going to be the same. Now, moving on to the important waiting period that most people who have a disease need to understand is called the PED waiting period, or the pre-existing disease waiting period. Both the plans offer a 3-year waiting period, which is standard waiting period defined by IRDA, but there are certain modifications that you can do by paying some extra premium and taking an add-on. Now, what is the add-on? In case of Care Supreme, the first kind of modification that is available is basically for 7 specific illnesses, which are like diabetes, hypertension, asthma, high cholesterol, obesity, COPD, or in case of, let's say, angioplasty, if that is occurred, let's say 1 year or before, you can basically move the waiting period from 3 years to 31 days. So from 31st day, you can get covered by paying extra premium. In case of Star, it also provides this modification where you can move your waiting period for 5 specific illnesses from 3 years to 31 days. But it comes with a specific condition that all of us need to understand. What it asks you to do is to commit for 5 years of premium if you're taking this add-on. So while you pay for this add-on, you also commit for 5 years of premium. So let's say if you make a claim in the next 5 years, before the 5 years get completed, which is your commitment, then the insurance company will deduct the premium for the next 2 years, 3 years, whatever is remaining when you make the claim. Let me give a quick example. So basically what happens is that I'm buying this add-on in, let's say, 2025, and I have committed to basically pay premiums for 5 years. Now for this specific 5 illnesses, if I make a claim in year 3, then the insurance company will pay the claim, but it will deduct premium for the next 2 years from this claim and then pay the claim amount to me or the insurance or the hospital, basically, if in case of cashless. Okay, there's one more modification that is available, which is a much simpler modification that both these plans offer. Is instead of basically waiting for 3 years before you can get covered for the existing diseases that you declare when you buy the plan, you can reduce it to 2 years or 1 year. Of course, you pay an additional premium to get this modification. So you have 2 types of modifications in the plan. Number 1 is for specified listed illnesses, that you can reduce the waiting periods from 3 years to 31 days. And in this specific case, this add-on where you reduce your waiting period from 3 years to 2 years or 1 year. Now moving on to comparing the customer service performance of both the plans and the insurance companies that we are comparing today. Now, it's important to understand that there are no specific metrics that were available to compare service performance between insurance company A and insurance company B. So we have created our own audit mechanism by which we compare insurance companies for the service performance that they did. Specifically, we do it for two specific criteria or two specific channels through which insurance companies get connected to customers or customers get connected to insurance company. One is the toll free and the second is the Twitter. Let's quickly look at how these companies perform in both these cases. In case of response on toll free, care is rated or marked as quick by our research team. Compare that to Superstar or Star Health Insurance. Actually, it's mapped as average. So in case of toll-free performance, you will get a much better experience in case of Care Health as compared to Star Health. Quickly comparing the response time on Twitter for both these insurance companies. In case of Superstar, it has been marked as quick. It basically means that you will get very quick responses from Star Health. When it compares to basically Care Health Insurance, it has been marked as slow, which basically says that you will not get a great response or speed of response will not be great in case of Care. So toll free में Care अच्छा कर रहा है. In case of Twitter, Superstar or Star Health Insurance rather is doing way better. Okay, now comparing the most important metric that you and I would be concerned about, the claims performance for both these insurance companies. Now, first thing that we will compare is speed of claim settlement. In case of Star Health, the speed of claim settlement basically is at 97.69%. This is basically how many claims did an insurance company settle in 30 days of receipt. In case of Star Health, it is at 97.69%. In case of Care Supreme, it's a perfect 100% score. It basically means that in case of Care Health Insurance, all the claims that they receive, all of them are settled within the 30-day bracket. Now, the next ratio that we compare is called the incurred claim ratio. Now, the comparison in this is Care Supreme is at around 66.28%. In case of Superstar, it is at 70.53%. The typical rule of thumb that we have for incurred claim ratio is that it should be between 60 and 80%. Both the companies are within that specific boundaries, so they score well on this specific parameter. Okay, the third ratio is a very, very important ratio. Specifically and personally, I look at this ratio very closely when I'm comparing two plans. It is called the claim rejection ratio. In case of Care Health Insurance, their rejection ratio, how many claims they received and how many claims they rejected. The ratio is basically a rejected and plus repudiated claims divided by the total claims that the insurance company received. In case of Care Health, the ratio is 3.15%. Basically, it means that 100 claims that Care Health has received, they have rejected or repudiated 3.15 claims. This is a place where there is a very big difference between Care Health Insurance and Star Health Insurance. The ratio for Superstar or Star Health Insurance is 11.49%, almost 4 times the ratio that Care Supreme has. This basically means that Star rejects almost 3 to 4 times more claims than Care Health Insurance. This is an important red flag that you need to understand before you choose Star Superstar, even if it has all the great benefit that we spoke about versus Care Supreme or other insurance companies that you may be comparing with. Moving on to pricing, very, very important to understand because an insurance company may offer great features, may also be great at claims performance, service performance, but the pricing has to be affordable. Now, we compare typically for a 30-year-old individual, Mr. Kumar, who's basically covering himself, his wife, and 1-year-old kid in Mumbai for a 10 lakh sum insured. What is the difference in the premium? Okay, what I see here is that the premium difference is almost marginal or almost equal. In case of Care Supreme, the premium is 16,670 as we speak today when we have calculated the premium. In case of Star Superstar, the premium is 16,471. So it's a very, very marginal difference of premium between both these plans. Okay, so moving on to the finale where we basically give scores on specific parameters that we've compared so far. And this basically will give you a relative understanding of where this plan stands compared to all other competing plans in the market. Now, in case of Care Supreme on product benefits, the rating is 4.09 out of 5. So it's rated at above average according to the ratings that I keep seeing on our platform. Now, you compare this to Superstar. Superstar is getting a rating of 4.54 out of 5. So clearly, as we saw in the video and we compared all the benefits, we know this that Superstar fares way better in case of the benefit that it offers compared to Care Supreme. Now, next is customer service, the comparison of customer service performance that we have done based on the audits that we do on both these insurance companies. In case of Care Health Insurance, the rating is 3.77 out of 5. In case of Superstar or Star Health Insurance rather, the rating is 3.06. So typically in our own understanding, in our own study or research that we carry out, Care Supreme basically has a much better service performance compared to Star Health. The third and the most important comparison is of the claims experience and the claims experience rating. In case of Care Health Insurance, the rating is 3.8 out of 5. So it's a typical rating, which is, I would call it just let's say between average and above average. It's not great, but when you compare it to Star Health, it turns out to be better. Star Health is rated at 3.24 out of 5. So in case of claims experience rating, we rate Care Health Insurance way better than Star Health Insurance. Now, all these ratings are culminated into an overall rating, which will tell you how do you look at these plans when you compare them to other plans in the market versus also these two plans that we compare today. So the overall rating that we've given to Care Supreme is around 3.94 out of 5. In case of Superstar, it's not very far off. It is 4.02. So when you look at both these plans, what you see is that one is basically performing well on the product feature. The other is basically performing better on claims experience or customer service. So that's why it's getting kind of evened out. Both these plans would be marked as average or above average in the overall ratings that we do. If you want to see the entire ratings of all the plans that we've done, and if you want to understand which is the plan that rates the highest, you can always come to beshak.org and check it out. And obviously, if you're like looking at going deeper into these plans, you want to understand whether you should buy these plans, make specific decisions, then you should definitely talk to an expert before you buy a plan. Now, experts are basically people who not only understand the product but also have great amount of experience in handholding customers to buy the plan, and most importantly also help them at the time of claims. If you're looking at such kind of expert and you're not able to find them in your location or your network, you can always come to beshak.org and talk to our experts for free. All these experts basically come with a very, very rigorous screening that we have done on them. Typically, only 8% of the total people that apply on our platform actually go through and get empaneled on our platform. Do try us out. This service is entirely free, and it also comes with a spam-free guarantee. You will not be spammed. You will not be called at any point in time. If you have any questions that you've not answered while we reviewed both these plans and compared both these plans, then always come in the comment section and ask these questions. We'll promise that we'll answer these questions as soon as possible. If you found the content useful, if you found value in the content that we did, the kind of review or rating that we did, and you want to follow such content in the future, to subscribe to us.